Do cut-resistant gloves actually work? When I was with the CIA, I had a pair of gloves. They were a very important pair of gloves to me, and thankfully, nobody ever tried to kill me in them. I didn't have to have almost my finger sawed off or grab a knife or anything. But I think gloves are important. I like having gloves in my bug-out bag. So what I've done here is I purchased 4 different pairs of cut-resistant gloves, and we're gonna test them out right now. We're gonna see which pair of gloves you may or may not wanna have in your bug-out bag, and hopefully I'm not gonna lose a finger. Also, for testing later on, I bought Little Smokies. I love Little Smokies. Hillshire Farms, if you're watching, call me. These are great in barbecue sauce, but these are gonna be the fingers. Basically, I went into my fridge looking for a pair of hot dogs so I could shove hot dogs in the fingers, and we're all out of hot dogs, but we've got Little Smokies. So before we pop those in there, let's go through the gloves. Just randomly bought 4 pairs. This pair is actually, I think this was like 60 bucks, and I've never paid $60 before for a pair of gloves in my life. But when I put these on, these feel strong, meaning these feel like they're gonna be able to do the job and give me a run for my money. Next, we have this pair. This pair, I think these were 15 or 20 bucks, and they feel like they're 15 or 20 bucks. So these are cut resistant, and I'm probably gonna be very careful and not do much with my fingers in these, and we're gonna put the Little Smokies in there. This is another pair of gloves, and again, I think these were 15 bucks, give or take. These actually feel the cheapest of all so far. So these ones, even though they're 20 bucks, they actually felt pretty good when they were on. This one feels much thinner and like you're gonna lose a finger, but we will shortly find out. And last, this is another pair of high-end gloves. When I say high-end for me, I think these were 50 bucks, around that price range. And usually I'm not spending that kind of money on gloves. So these also feel solid. These feel good. They don't feel as solid as these ones, like as thick, but let's find out. All right, so I've got some different knives, just a regular ordinary kitchen knife. I've got our first Versa knife, versaKnife.com, and I have our very sharp and very nasty berserker blade, which is a great EDC knife. Go to berserkerblade.com if you want that. So these are going to be the knives that we're going to use for testing purposes. So first, do I even really want to put my finger in one of these? We'll go, let me get it on my left hand. We'll go here. So we'll take the... So obviously I'm not putting a ton of pressure on that because I don't want to slice myself, but this knife is incredibly sharp. So let's say maybe you're making dinner or whatever and you actually just, do that. Well, everything's so good so far. If you were to do that, I mean, you can see that I kind of cut it open, but if you did that obviously without any kind of protection, you are going to be bleeding pretty darn good. This one, I don't know if I want to do that exact test. I'm going to go even slower. All right, I'm going so slow and I'm not putting pressure because I don't want to lose my finger. So that one, I didn't do much admittedly. Let's see this one here. Let's put this on. This one does feel thicker. So that one I'm going harder, and you can see it's not really doing anything. But I am putting more pressure, like the pressure I was putting on that glove with this one, because it feels definitely thicker. And then lastly, what are these ones? King Kong something? This one, which feels it feels like a winter glove actually. It feels like if it's hot out, you'd be sweating your you-know-what off. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open Little Smokies. I hate to see these go to waste. I'll probably feed them to the kids anyway. So let me get my knives out. Let's spill these out. The very scientific, sophisticated way we're gonna do these is I just drop one. Is I am going to reach in, I'm gonna take the one Little Smoky, I'm gonna reach in and attempt to go this way. Attempt to get it in the middle, and we'll just put it in the index finger. Okay, there we go. I've got one. We're gonna put 2 in. We're gonna put another one in the index finger area, and we're gonna try and see if we can shove one more in there. Okay, so I've got 3. Maybe not. We're not gonna get 3. Okay, I've got 3 Little Smokies. Here's my finger. So first, let's see if it's. Oh, the one fell out. Let me push it back in. Let me push it back in just a little bit. There we go. And we'll do that. Okay, now, let's see. Let's use this. And then what did I throw the other knife at? Here it is. Okay. Let's do okay, so that is definitely stabbing through, which, again, incredibly sharp blade, and I'm stabbing right in. So I can feel it going through there, but I still feel it's thick. So now what we're gonna do, now that we've pretty much brutalized this Little Smoky, let's take them out, and let's check out the damage that has been done on these. Okay, so this one was the one that was at the very bottom. Nothing happened to it because we weren't hitting it. So there should be still... And did one of them? Okay, there we go. All right, so let's see. Cutting, took one of them off. You can see all the stab marks. You can see the cut mark there. You can see the slice mark there. So yes, these gloves are cut resistant, but clearly if you are going to stab into it and you're really gonna slice, you can see how it went all the way through there, and we saw it cut in half. So good gloves, but yeah, you're not gonna, if you go like psycho on them like I did, it ain't gonna work. Now let's go to the ultra cheap gloves, the $15 gloves. We'll get some fresh little Smokies. And for ease purposes,
this is why I should have gotten the hot dog. If I would have gotten the hot dog, I could have just shoved it in easier.
Okay, let's get that in. Maybe, yes, no. Okay, here we go. We got one in there. We got two in there. All right, see? Now you can see my finger. So this one, I want to use it. Let's slice it first. Let's see. I got to put it down. I got to put it down on something. Okay, so we got my finger there. It's in the glove. I'm going to add more pressure. All right, that holds up pretty well, actually. It's more impressive than I thought it was going to be. Let's do this one. Let's do this one of hearts. And of course, we got to stab it. We'll go to this little Smoky here. So that holds up better than I thought it would, to be honest. I thought we'd go through it much quicker as I psycho killer it. So let's pour this one out, and I can already feel it falling apart in here. All right, let's get it out. Let's get it out. Okay, so that one, pretty damaged too. Not gonna survive much. Plenty of cuts. That one went all the way through, as you can see it here. So those did do better than I thought it would, but like pretty much everything in life, you get what you pay for. All right, two more. We're gonna see how they do. This is the semi-in-between, meaning not the super cheapest glove, but also not the best glove. I'm gonna see if I can get these right in here in the thumb. So fresh little Smoky, pop it here in the thumb region. Maybe, yes, okay, there we go. Okay, I got them in. Okay, so there is our thumb. Same thing, we'll start with a kitchen knife. Okay, not doing much, but guess what? I bet this kitchen knife needs to be sharpened because I put it in my wife's drawer and it probably hasn't been sharpened in a while. So now we're gonna try something else. Okay, this one's holding up pretty good too. Let's get the berserker blade, the sharp one, and see. All right, that one held up pretty good cut-wise. I mean, you can see it's maybe barely going through. You can see some oranges there. That one held up pretty impressively. So now let's squeeze it out and see how she looks. Okay, not looking great. Pretty cut up, pretty messed up, as you can see. All right, but again, that held up pretty good. A lot better than I thought it would. Not too messed up at all. Okay, last, but certainly not least. I actually kind of want to keep these gloves for myself. They feel so high quality, if you will. All right, so let's get the last of the little Smoky, not the last, but the last one in here. For ease of purpose, I don't think I can get it all the way. These gloves are tight in here too. Like I said, it feels like you're putting on some winter gloves. That is gonna be incredibly hot. So let me see if I can even get this in the thumb hole. Okay, okay, I got one going in the thumb hole, and I gotta push it in there. Get in there, okay. Now we got two to go in the thumb hole, maybe, kind of, yes. All right, okay, now hold on. It's not going in the thumb hole all the way. I want to hold it so we can get a legit test here. Stop going out, little Smoky. All right, hold on. I think I got it. Okay, there we go. Now we got our thumb. This one I have high hopes for obvious reasons. $60 down the drain. Here we go. So, looking good so far. Okay, so obviously puncturing. I mean, I'm going right through this thing when I puncture. So you can probably hear it and see me going deep in. So slicing and dicing, which is, you know, why you wear these, cut resistant, but puncturing, not very good. So let me push this last one out, get that out of the way. See if I can get the mutilated or maybe in there permanently. Come on, little Smoky, you can do it. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yes, of course, they have some punctures. You can see there and there, but that one held up pretty darn good. So now, you know the pros and cons of cut-resistant gloves. Obviously, the cheap ones are not going to work as well as the good ones. But I definitely recommend a pair of good gloves for your bug-out bag. Like I said, when I was with the agency, I had some, and now I have some in my own bug-out bags. And remember, if you want to get the world's best EDC blade, check out berserkerblade.com.